It's only been 3 days since Rangers' heartbreaking defeat in the League Cup final to Celtic, and whilst the loss is still raw, Rangers need to pick themselves up and respond at the weekend to Kilmarnock in the Scottish Premiership. It is still early in Bill's tenure, and the manager won't be really judged on what he does this season, but what he does next season, which makes this summer very important. Ahead of the summer transfer window, there is a lot of talk surrounding players who could leave, and today we have an update with regards to one of them who was expected to leave. Not only that, but in today's video we'll also go through the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to cover in today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. Before we get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Brian Laudrup reckons Michael Beale and his Rangers players will have a major regrets over Sunday's League Cup final. The Ibrox hero was in attendance at Hampden as he worked as a pundit for Viaplay, and he was far from impressed by his former side. Laudrup has questioned Beale's selection for the contest despite seeing where the Ibrox manager was coming from. He wrote in the Daily Mail, "For Michael Beale and many of his Rangers players, Sunday's Via Cup final will be a source of some lingering regrets. Celtic weren't particularly great at Hampden, I think that's fair to say, but they still thoroughly deserved the season's first trophy given the holes in the performance of their rivals. Midfield was the biggest issue for Rangers. In my mind, one lesson is that energy and positivity of new signings Nicholas Raskin and Todd Cantwell must be front and centre for the remainder of the season. In the case of Raskin in particular, I would have liked to have seen him involved much earlier against Celtic. I really felt he had the skill set to cause Ange Postecoglou's side some problems and said so last week. I like him a lot. That opinion hasn't changed after the way Sunday panned out. If anything, Raskin and Cantwell now appear even more important to the way ahead under Beale. Leaving Hampden, I had this nagging feeling that if something had changed at half-time with fresher legs from these newer players who don't have a history of losing old firm games, then perhaps we might have seen more from Rangers. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. I was a little surprised when I saw the starting lineup, but I understand the logic as explained by Beale. He was going with experience, he wanted players who knew the fixture and had been at the club for a certain period of time. That's fair enough, but it backfired in this case. Just a quick one before we get back into the video guys, we've released our brand new merchandise. We've got our Graham Souness Tim Scalping t-shirts, along with our Michael Beale Stan Smith tees. Do shop the collection by going to rfcclothing.com or going down into the link in the description. Let's get back into today's video. Stephen Davis suffered a season-ending knee injury at the end of December, which cast doubt on whether Rangers would choose to extend his contract beyond the end of the campaign when it is due to expire. However, reports have emerged that a new contract is very likely to be offered to the midfielder, who had become a player coach having already started work on obtaining his coaching badges. In a recent interview, Open Goal pundit Frank McAvenny has claimed that Rangers should keep the 38-year-old around in some capacity due to the positive influence he could have on their younger players. When asked whether Michael Beale should offer him a new contract, he said, "Davis is a player that I would look up to. He has been there, seen it and done it. I do not get why he would not want to keep him around the place in a coaching role. Jermaine Defoe was great for Morelos, just watching him every day. No matter what people say, Davis is great. He has been brilliant for years. If I was a Rangers player, I would want to train with him every day and listen to him. He's a huge figure for them." In my personal opinion, I think this news is great, and someone like Stephen Davis should definitely be a part of the coaching setup. Whilst also he could be a great backup option should the Bears need him. This experience is vital to have in any dressing room, and I think he can have a real impact on some of the club's youngsters, so the news that Davis is likely to stay on as a player coach is really positive in my personal opinion. Former Rangers caretaker boss Graham Murty is reportedly a candidate for the vacant Oxford United manager post. The 48-year-old, who served in various coaching roles from the Ibrox youth teams to caretaker manager, is currently at Sunderland working with the youth academy. However, the Northern Echo report that Murty is included in a short list of possible replacements at Oxford after Carl Robinson was dismissed. It is claimed that the League One club are keen to make a quick-fire appointment, with Craig Shaw, Leon Blackmore, Wayne Brown currently overseeing first-team matters. The report suggests no formal approach has been made to Sunderland by Oxford over talks, but it's thought the coach would be allowed to discuss the position. Andy Halliday has questioned whether Rangers have the financial resources and recruitment expertise to replace Ryan Kent and Alfredo Morelos if they leave the club. The Ibrox duo have been integral parts in recent years, but both could depart on free transfers in the summer. Kent and Morelos are both out of contract at the end of the season, and there has been no breakthrough in talks with either players despite negotiations over the last few months. Halliday told Clyde's Super Scoreboard, "I'd keep Kent, and in terms of Morelos, I'm not so sure. Is there a confidence in the board to give Rangers money if those players leave? Is there confidence in the recruitment structure to being in two players better than Morelos and Kent? But there's been games recently when he's flattered to deceive, and I think yesterday was another case of that, but I would definitely keep Ryan Kent." Halliday also identified Rangers' biggest disparity with Celtic, and he reckons Michael Beale needs several transfer windows to sort it out. He said, "I think it's windows. Celtic's 11 is better than Rangers' 11, I'm not saying any different. But the biggest disparity in the squad, you look at Celtic's bench and the players that they're bringing in on after 60 minutes in every single game. By the way, go back a year, we were saying the same for Ange. Ange needs windows. He needs to bring in his own players. He's getting them right. You look at Ange's success rate with the players he's brought in. You're talking about 20 signings, you could say 15 have made a positive impact on the squad." Rangers transfer target Kevin Mentilla has broken his silence on being linked with a move to Ibrox and admitted he knows about interest from European clubs. The 19-year-old central defender is rated as one of the best young prospects in South America and helped Colombia reach the semi-finals of the Under-20s Championship this month. The Santa Fe stopper was linked with a move to Rangers this week and was previously touted for a transfer to Liverpool last month too. Clubs in Italy, Portugal and Greece have also been credited with interest in Mentilla, and his club reportedly rejected a £1.5 million offer from Olympiacos last month. However, Mentilla has insisted he is only concentrating on playing for his club in Bogota and not thinking about a move to Europe for now. He said, "I am very calm about all the transfer interest, it's all in the hands of God. I know which teams are interested in me in Europe and it's very nice to hear about them. I've been kept informed about who has asked about me. My head is with Santa Fe though, it's important for me to concentrate on the season ahead with them. I'll wait to see if one of the clubs who are interested in make a firm proposal, but for now I can't do anything. We want to win the league this season. I am only a young player. I have a lot to learn. At this moment, the best place for me to do that is here in Colombia. But of course, the truth is that I do dream for one day to leap to European football." Mentilla, who has been capped 15 times for the Colombian under-20s, has played 26 games for his club. Rangers fans, how are you feeling after Sunday? And what do you make of the news that Stephen Davis is likely to stay on as a player coach? Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. Please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Remember, we've also released new merchandise. Do browse our collection. We have our Graham Souness Tim Scalping tees. If you would like to buy one, just go down to rfcclothing.com or go down into the link in the description. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.